Hi everybody, welcome. I'm so excited to show you the Drumlogue today. I'm Natalie Chami, Korg Product Manager, and here I am with our hybrid drum machine. I'm going to show you how to get started with this, and I think the best way is through music, right? So what you just heard is a preset program that has your kit, your rhythmic sequence already lined up, but how do you get started if you're just turning this on? So let me guide you through that. Of course, everybody has different options, right, and opinions, but something that I like to do is select a program or a kit. So a program on the Drumlogue is a kit, so all of your drum sounds plus a rhythmic sequence plus the effects that are already saved and any motion sequencing, so any knob turns that were saved. Or you can just select a kit, some drum sounds that you like. And where can I see any of that and all of that? Here's your program. Right here you have your select, and here's your kit section, and all you got to do is turn a knob. So I'm going to start by picking a program. Let's just do it that way. Why do I do it that way? Because then I can actually hear the kit in a live setting. So I'm going to scroll. Here's my bank. Go to bank A. I'm just going to start with the first one, computer, and then all I have to do is hit select, and let's just hear what that sounds like. This is a great initial way to just hear some of the sounds that are on the Drumlogue. Now, this is a hybrid drum machine. What exactly does that mean? That means you have your analog sounds with this awesome front panel knobs to really fine tune the exact warm, maybe bass heavy drum sounds. And then you also have digital sounds. You also, with that digital sounds, can input your own samples, and of course there are samples in here. And then you also have the multi-engine where you can actually download user customizations that are on the internet. So that includes effects and sounds, including synth sounds. So you'll see in my setup today, I have a MIDI controller connected, and I'll get into how you connect that. It's pretty easy. This is a USB controller. All you got to do is make sure your Drumlogue is off, plug it in, and then turn it on, and it'll immediately recognize your controller. You can use any MIDI controller, by the way, and if you do use any MIDI controller, just make sure that your MIDI settings are set to recognize the mapping of your controller and your Drumlogue. I also have on this side over here, which is barely in the shot, and I can zoom out later to show you some things. I'm using my Minilog XD with the Drumlogue today. I'll pause and show you when I start doing that. But anyway, let's get back to how do you create a beat? How do I even use this thing? So again, this is a preset program. So I have a rhythmic sequence happening that's already punched in. You can see all the layers of each part, 11 parts, on my screen. And then you also have the kit, so the thing that makes the sounds. What bass drum do you have? What hi-hat do you have? What samples are you using? So I'm going to pause that and create a beat with the kit that's already selected and with the effects that are already there. And you'll see that on these buttons over here, 1 through 16, that also function as your sequencer. your beats, I'm going to clear the whole pattern that's already in there. And all I have to do is hit shift. And then right here, you'll see pattern. And I'm going to hit clear all. Actually, I pointed to part on step 14, but I'm going to clear all. So now you're not going to see anything on my screen. You're not going to see all the little dashes that represent the different rhythms per part, right? Now, one of the easiest ways, and I will say I'm coming from a synth player perspective, somebody that never really made beats, this is really intuitive to creating a beat with just starting with your bass drum on all the circled parts, so your downbeats on every downbeat or circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the circles there. There are 64 steps, so I can actually see that right now with the program that I chose, I have 16 plus 16, you got your 32. I'm not using these, but it's easily expandable. I'm gonna just start with those 32 steps. So pick my part, it's already lit up. If it wasn't, I'm gonna hit part and then pick my bass drum, and I know that that's bass drum because it says BD. These are also the knobs that are gonna be used with that. And I'm gonna use my step mode and just select where all the downbeats are, which are, I love that they're circled because sometimes I have to count and be like, okay, that would be beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. Okay, and then I also said that there are 32 steps, so this is only covering 16. All you gotta do is press this arrow, and now I'm also gonna cover the next 16 steps. So let's just hear what we have now. Okay, I was just checking to see. By the way, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to use the chat. I do have my other Korg team members in the chat. They can help you out if I'm not looking at the screen. So I welcome you to join me in this fun with the Drumlogue today. Okay, that's easy, right? Now, if I wanted to continue to pick parts and do them by step, I can do that. I can just hit a part, and then now I want my snare drum or something, and then I can just plug in those steps. However, I kind of like to play around in real time. So I'm going to go to my live button. So now I also am not recording because I don't want to commit yet, but I'm going to listen to some of the different parts and see what I'm feeling. Let's see. So that's the kit that I'm using. I kind of like that, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to mute myself for a second. All right, I added 2 more layers, right? What if I don't like that bass drum? So let's get into these front panel controls. So 2 ways. You can mute all the other parts and really fine tune your bass drum sound. Sometimes it's nice to hear the other layers and be like, ooh, that actually sounds better with what I'm using. So I'll do both. Here's the bass drum, the thing I started off with. And here are my knobs, my analog bass drum knobs. I'm just turning up the decay there. Changing the pitch of the bass drum. What if I wanted to actually record that movement of the pitch? So I'm getting that pitch slide going down. I can! I'm going to turn on my motion sequencing on so I can do that. So right here, we'll see that it says motion. And then if I want to turn it on, all I have to do is press motion over here. And let's make sure it's on. There it is. I kind of dig it. If you didn't, you can actually clear that motion part. Let's clear it just in case. Just in case? What do you mean? But I love it. Let's clear it and let's go back to what it was. I'm gonna do, so I showed you this was shift, motion, clear part. Let's go back to my part, bass drum part. Shift, clear. back to it. So the reason why, I don't know if you caught my little mistake there, I had the part on the clap still, since that was the last thing I recorded. So I just hit part and went back to my bass drum and then cleared that motion sequence that I recorded on the bass drum part, right? It's the bass drum knob. So let's do it again. Do I want it? I don't know. Let's add some parts. I lied. Let's go to, I'm just in my live mode again. I'm actually going to record that bass drum. Maybe. Turn the decay down. I don't want it to be pitched because I'm going to play some parts instead. So how does this come in? This MIDI controller that I'm using. So again, let's see, how much can you see on my top? All right, so my MIDI controller right now is connected through USB on the side, and then it's just plugged in where it says to device. That's it. Yeah, good, okay, you can see it. Booyah, and then my MIDI controller is set up. So which part, oh, who knew? I forgot I had the record on. It's already, let's lock it in. I dig it. Let's get some bass in there. Okay, what else can we do? Oh, I know. Let's fine tune another part yet again. So something that's cool, even though we have these analog controls, it is a hybrid drum machine. So you can actually add on here a transient, which is adding on here a sample, so a digital sound to the analog bass drum, for example. So let's go back to my bass drum part, bass drum, and then all I have to do is arrow up. And right now the transient is called quick attack, but let's change that. What I'm gonna do is mute all the other parts actually so you can really hear what's going on. Okay, here's my bass drum. If you're listening, especially with earphones for that bass sound, you'll be able to hear the difference. I'll stop talking. That one's very obvious, right? That distorted click that happened on top of it. Now I'm like, okay, I made a really obvious one with that digital transient on top of it. It's a little distorted. You're getting a nice higher frequency to go along with that nice analog bass sound. I'm gonna bring in all the other parts and see if this sits well with them. It's nice. Okay. What else can I add to play around? Ooh, I know. I'm gonna show you another little thing. So if I wanted a part to loop, and that just means like a roll almost on a part, you just hit this loop button, and you can change how you want it to loop, but I'm gonna show you the obvious, again, bass drum, since we're focusing on that one right now. Would you normally loop a bass drum? I don't think so, but the other thing is, so in this loop, we have all the options to, yeah, you can just hit loop, but you'll see on my screen it says mode, it's a moment, so only as I'm pressing it, how is it playing back in that loop? It's playing forward, and at the speed that it is playing back is just at the, you know, the one single 16th note, or I can also have it not resume, so when I let go, you heard, maybe you didn't, but pay attention, when I let go, you're gonna hear that the sequence is still in time, right? You can change it so it's not. Nice, okay, so let's play around where it's twice as fast. 4 times. How about not sync, free? So it wasn't exactly where we had that beat going, if you heard that. There, now it falls back into place, right? So I like synced. What does it sound? Oh, random. I love the randomization that comes with the Drumlogue, by the way. Let's take, which part? Maybe the claps, because they're pretty like easy to hear. Let's see. Where's my clap? Oh, that's funny. It wasn't the clap that sounded like. Okay, that one. What I'm gonna do is, oh my God, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna do with that? I can't remember. Why was I thinking of that? It'll come to me. Anyway, let's do kind of similar stuff again. And I'm going to make a new beat. So let's see how well you get. Oh, before I do that, just real quick, I'm gonna expand it. What is cool about this? So remember I said, right now we have 32 steps going. What if I wanted it to be 64 and then add some other ideas? Oh, I remember now, random. That was the thing that I was gonna show you. Let's do randomize after I add this next thought that I was saying, expanding my sequence to be longer. So that way I can actually have more variation. Right now, it's actually pretty consistent throughout those 32 steps. So get to it, Natalie, shift, hit expand. What's cool is it copies your sequence exactly over. So you don't have to like have empty space, and especially if you're playing live. So you can actually see this. Oops, I totally just hit. That's where I wanted you to see it, by hitting live. Okay, so now let's randomize this part. So part, and then I'm gonna hit shift, and we're gonna, random part. So that'll, there are two things you can randomize. You can randomize the rhythm of that part. So I'm gonna do that first because it's easy to hear. It's fun, change things up. Let's randomize it again. And you can do this for all the different parts. So that's randomizing the rhythm behind it. Now let's randomize the sound of this part. So again, here, randomize part. So we're looking at our kit now, random part. Can you tell that's a different sound? Let's keep going. There you go. It's a little softer there. Okay, let's be super obvious and randomize the sound of our bass drum. That's at least more obvious for me. So I'm gonna go part. There's my bass drum. Let's change the sound of our bass drum. So shift, randomize part. Really great function. Oh my God, I almost ripped my headphones out. Really great function, especially in live sets, I think, if you're transitioning to different songs or like different moods throughout your set. I think that's a really good way to switch it up without like shot, you know, it's like really doing a nice fine-tuned mix. Speaking of mix, did you notice that I have my mixer knobs right at top? These guys. So if I thought my bass drum was too loud, I'm not even muting it, I'm just totally turning it down. So there are two ways you can be really effective by, if you're into that, or you can hit your mute. Bring it back. Okay. I love it. I think I am really just showing you, hopefully. Let me see if there are any questions that I could answer real quick. Oh, I hear a question about the samples. So I'll keep this going. Well, no, I lied. I'm going to answer your questions about, kind of get into talking about the samples a little bit more. But in the meantime, here's a new rhythm so we don't get bored. And then I will talk to you about samples. right now. So if you are working with samples, what's really simple is you just turn your Drumlogue into an external device. So all you do is when you're powered off, you connect your Drumlogue into your computer with a USB cable, and then by holding down the power button when you're booting on, the power button with the record button, it'll bring up your Drumlogue onto your computer screen, and you'll just see it just as another device, and you can drag and drop your samples. There is a naming formula that you need to use. It's like 001 if you want it to be saved in the first spot of the sample, underscore, and then the title. That's it. It has to be a WAV file. So that's just a little bit more details. It's pretty simple. It really is just a drag and drop. And then you can go into, for example, let's see, I do see a sample being used here. Let's see what sample it is. Oops, I hit shift, no wonder. Go figure. Do I want to dig into this a little bit? Okay, so sample 2 right now. Oh, sorry. It says I'm using from miscellaneous percussion line 3. There, I just changed the sample sound. So there are samples that come with the Drumlogue, of course, and then you can load your own. So user is where you would do that. And I think I put in a sample in. Oh, did I not? You know what? Oh, there's some. Yes, I did. Venus Theory samples. I thought I had. So some people have already started making samples for the Drumlogue. That was one that I entered their library in there. Okay. I like this kit. Let's use it. So again, what I would do is select my humid, what is it, basement? And then I'm going to clear, let's clear the rhythm. So that's the pattern on here. Hit shift and then clear all. Again, keep it simple. If I want to start with just a bass drum on all your downbeats, that's pretty simple. I have bass drum already selected. I'm going to hit step so then I can punch it in. Let's see, is this, oh, this is only going to be a 16-step pattern. I can expand that later. Let's hear it. Cool. Okay, let's go into live mode because this is the way I like to do it. I don't like to build every single step of the instrument or of the sequence. Ooh, you know what I'll show you on this one? I'm going to get into some effects too. Okay, let's see. Let me hear what other sounds I have. Let's turn that up on my low tone. Oh, I like it. Okay, I turned it up really loud. See, so I wanted to show some effects. You can do effects over the entire sequence or per part. Ooh, before I do that, I want to play maybe with the synth. I just want to do so many things. I get so excited. Okay, let's, yeah, I'm going to play with the synth. So let's do part, and then I'm going to select my multi-engine user. So it comes preloaded with what's a synth called a synth that's called nano synth. So I just selected part and user, and then I can select my nano synth right here. There it is. Select. Cool. Oh my goodness, of course I did that. I'll go with it. Did you all see what I just did? I had my program select on still. My bad. I'll do it again. Sometimes mistakes happen. Okay, so I'm gonna do clear all on my part. I'm gonna just do it fast now since you already saw this. Okay, play. Oh, I didn't want that to be there. I wanted my bass part. Part, bass. Okay. There we go. I think I recorded. It'll be different this time. Let's go into live. I think I turned up that low tone. Yeah. Okay. I'll use that. And then I wanted to play with my, look how quickly I did that. Pay attention, Natalie. Okay, so part, and now I want my user, and then I'm gonna select my nano synth. Hello. You don't want to work? There it is. Okay, thank you. There it is. And then if you press our arrows, we're gonna get deeper into that part. If you want me to. Yes, please. You don't want me to edit right now? Switch the part to my VPM. And then I was going to show you some effects. So maybe I want some delay on that VPM. My arrows don't want to work right now. Isn't that lovely? So I'm gonna show you a little bit about the Minilogue XD and how I have it connected right now. All I'm using, so I don't even have to do like 5-pin MIDI to get it connected. I have my audio sync out cable. I kind of want to, well, it's just I hope I don't want to mess it up if I unplug it in real time. But it's an 1/8" cable connected where it says audio sync out. So the Drumlogue becomes my metronome and it's going in to my Minilogue. So that's going to be controlling the BPM on my Minilogue XD, or the tempo. So if I use the sequencer on the Minilogue XD, it'll be in sync, and then I'll adjust the tempo so you can hear it. So let's record a little sequence. Okay, we're kind of in this D minor. Cool, let's do play and record. I already cleared up the sequence that was already in. Let's do a new one. I'm gonna do one more maybe? Let's see, how are we on time? Yeah, why not? One more. Okay. Any other questions? Can you add effects to each sound? Yes, you can add effects to each sound. Oh, that's what I was gonna show you. So right, I didn't even show you the effects yet. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick reset. Because I think I like pressed something funny. Let's see. So again, this is good to show you that I have my USB connected directly in there. And then we have my MIDI controller that will work. And you can also check all of your MIDI settings by going to Shift Global, easy, and then you can see a couple different things. Right now I have quantize on to the 16th note, which is really lovely when you're playing in real time and maybe you're playing off. I mentioned how you can expand your pattern to copy when you hit expand, which is something I personally like. So that can be changed if you don't want it to copy onto the next sequence. And, sorry, the next set of 16 steps. And then you also have a metronome. This is also why I was saying I like to just start with the bass drum if I don't want my metronome on in a live performance. That's helpful to at least hear the beat somehow. You also have these, let me make sure you can see my screen. Yes, you can. Okay. You also have these individual outs. You have 4 individual outs, which is really cool if you want to mix each part separately. So you can assign, right now I have output 1, which is 1/4 inch out for my bass drum, and I can send that directly into my DAW in that way. And then my output 2 is my snare snare drum, and then etc. Right? You have your output, and you can just turn the knobs to change that. You can also mute them out, and then here's my USB routing to get my controller to work. Okay, I think that's pretty simple. Let's go back into my live mode. I'm going to select a program. Let's pick, let's see, maybe this one. Okay, so that's the preset program. Now, if I want to show you effects, first let's make my own beat because I don't want to use theirs. Ooh, that sounds nice. Okay, so let's do again, step. This is going to be, you can see there are 2 lights here, so 32 steps. That's quite a bit. Okay, how about just every downbeat, just every one? Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, if you're wondering what the heck I just meant. Let's go to another part. Let's hear. Okay, turn record off. Okay, let's add some effects per part. So let's pick a part. I just hit arrow up, so bass drum, arrow up. I don't know what was happening before, but that is working now. And then we can go through and be like, oh, here's some delay. On the bass drum. Okay, let's do some other part. I was going to add another part. Let's change some effects on this. So part. There's a spread. It's changing the start of the sample if I didn't want to start at the beginning. Some distortion, some resonance. Maybe you're into that. It's fun to play with this stuff. Okay, so now let's add our master delay. I turn this up all the way too. On that part. Right? Maybe it's too much. I like it. I like it because it's obvious to hear. record it. Okay. All right. Randomize some things, switch it up. Yeah, let's randomize this sample part. It's a little annoying to me. Maybe for you too, randomize part. Okay, did I say one more? So those are my effects. We can do our master, compressor as well, filter, boost, EQ. Let me see in my notes what I'm forgetting to show you. I talked about it. Clear patterns, live mode, expanding patterns, randomizing, connectivity. Oh, chaining. This is a good function. So if you are not just interested in expanding, I'm going to show you real quick how to, let's say you were doing more than 64 steps and you saved a couple of your own patterns and programs. Then what you can do is have them play back in a sequence together to create a song. So a longer, like sections, right? So if I was like verse, 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 chorus, chorus, verse, verse, something like that, all you gotta do is hit your chain button. You can see I already started doing that. I have program A11 and then A1. Let's say I want to select this one for the first part of my chain, and then I want to select, by the way, all I'm doing is to get to the different parts of the chain is just pressing the steps right here. So now I just press step 2, and now I want step 2 to go to maybe the first program that we heard today. Oh, I lied. I selected B1. The first one we heard was A1. And should we do one more, just so we can really hear what it sounds like? And by the way, you can set it so that way the metronome and the tempo along, even if you recorded different programs, and you know the preset programs are at totally different tempos, but if you recorded different tempos, it will align if you choose to, in your settings, to keep the tempo the same when it jumps from program to program. So I'm gonna pick one more. Let's go back into chain, I forgot chain, and then let's do A1 as I had said I was gonna do. Okay, so there's my chain, let's hear it. There's my first part, lights up, now I'm on the second one, and then the third program. And then I'll just repeat. So if I wanted, C1 could be in multiple steps of the chain, right? And then go into the next one. Just another way to create songs on here. All right, you get the idea. So let's do one more as I bring us out. Let's go into, I'm honestly just gonna select a random program. Do I like this kit? If you didn't, here's another cool thing. Speaking of kits, let's say you created a sequence that you really like or a pattern, you can change the kit in real time. So I showed you how to randomize or a part of the kit, but you can also just change the entire kit as a sequence is going, and all you just do is hit select on the kit. Let's change the kit. So it's still the same exact pattern on the screen, right? Same rhythms happening, but it's a totally different kit. which is really nice too. Ooh, that was an interesting sample. Okay, so let's use this kit. Clear all. So playing live, there's my bass. I'll put in some steps. Do I want to play it? Well, it's not. I want to shrink this a little bit so I don't have to do too much. Let's go into live mode. Ooh, I like that reverb on there. It's a little jolty. I kind of like it. I was going to delete it, but I'm going to work with it. Muted. All right. It was. Okay, sure, nothing else muted. Play around with that keyboard part I just added. What you guys think? Thanks for joining me today. I'm gonna play us out. I'm Natalie. See you next time.